just tell you one word about this wood. It's called spiritual wood. So this wood, the wood is part of a therapist. Do you understand? When you use this wood, it's part of you. Like the wood is part of you. When you're using it on a patient, do you understand? It just looks like you are using your hand to touch the patient, but meanwhile, what is touching the patient is the wood. So the wood actually needs a passionate influence for it to be able to work well. My name is Dr. Dike, Ebubedike. I'm actually a process therapist. In process therapy, you have the branch of physiotherapy, that's physical therapy, and you have the chiropractic adjustment program, and then you have the wood therapy, and then you have the mini acupuncture therapy, which all encompass under process therapy. I'm not the CEO of Heaven Clinic. I'm just a staff at Heaven Clinic. Yes, in Heaven Clinic, it's an open clinic where our own is to serve people. So nobody owns it. The patient actually owns the clinic. So we are the staff of Heaven Clinic. I didn't do any of those programs in Nigeria, which we don't even have any school or any institution that actually educates people on process therapy. And that was why it was actually a privilege for me to actually dash out of the country. But it's not, I did not just wake up and say I want to do this program, because something happened. My mom had arthritis actually, and then we kept taking her from one hospital, from one clinic to another, and each time they go to like a physiotherapy clinic, the way she's handled and all that. So one day I just told my brother, I can actually do this. I want to see what I can do to actually help my mom, and even see how I can help other women, because I'm not seeing the passion in how these people are attending to all these elderly people, because I see them attending to other elderly people. And then I spoke to one of my uncle in US, and that CUC, and then he was like, okay, there's a program going on in Accra. They are recruiting some people that wants to study anything that has to do with physical therapy, in India actually. So he helped me to get the form. So I actually went to Ghana. I did the trial, and I actually passed. In fact, they were even saying that they were asking if I've actually worked on anyone before, and so I was given the opportunity to travel to go and actually do the program. The program actually lasted for 3 years, but the thing is, there are some of them that actually last for like a year, some a year and 6 months. But because I actually had to I had the passion to do like the general practice, which is about the acupuncture, the physical therapy, the wood therapy, the asthma control. Yes, I remember. And then the which one? I think that we did another one like water therapy. So there is one vital one. It's called culture therapy. So most of the things you actually see me practice is actually because of what we're actually taught while I was in my program. So by the time I came back, it wasn't few months when I came back, my mom died. So because of the place I actually did my study, and they know how good I am, so they started, sending my CVs to some other people in other countries like US, and I started getting invitation to come and work in the US, work in the UK, work in different countries. And I was like, okay, if I leave Nigeria, who will actually treat most of this, our elderly people, the small children and all that? So I just told them that, okay, they should just give me time and all that. So I started working with some clinics, and then decided to because working with most of those clinics, I'm not able to explore, because even when I see a particular issue that I can treat within like 1 month or within like few weeks, and because of the system of the hospital or the clinic, they want us to extend it and then advise the patient probably for surgery and all that. And the whole idea was to treat these people physically and make them feel better. So I just told myself, maybe I should just start this small and then get you registered on CAC. And then I did a program with Lagos State Traditional Medicine Board. They are the one that license people that have all these minimal local maternities and people who do all those like culture therapies and all that. So I was able to do a program with them, and they gave me a license, and that's what I have been using to to be able to operate as a culture therapist and a process therapist. Some hospitals still sends patients to me, do you understand, to handle. And then the thing is, it's just an open, my clinic is just an open clinic. It's just like a family, it's just a family house. If you check, most of sometimes what we do for most of those our elderly people, sometimes they just come, we bring them together, we play music for them, because some of them have not really been engaged with such thing. They've stayed in the house for too long, they have been so down. Some of them, their children are no more around, they just keep like a caregiver with them, so they don't even communicate. So I try to like bring them together to for them to have communications with each other. So we have the hammer, and then we have a whole lot of woods. We have the nerve contour that looks like Toningari wood. So we have so many woods, which I will not really be explaining the function of these woods, but this is why it's called wood therapy. And wood therapy is under culture therapy, and culture therapy is under physical therapy, and then physical therapy is under process therapy. Now, why it's called process therapy is because it's the process of seeing a patient get through any pains and any form of therapy process, just to see a patient get through recovery. That's why it's called process therapy. Let me just tell you one word about this wood. It's called spiritual wood. So this wood, the wood is part of a therapist. Do you understand? When you use this wood, it's part of you. Like the wood is part of you. When you're using it on a patient, do you understand? It just looks like you are using your hand to touch the patient, but meanwhile, what is touching the patient is the wood. So the wood actually needs a passionate influence for it to be able to work well. So what do you Yeah.